Apart from that, that's a good for the I want the very fine screenshot of topics in the so how do you do the rest of it?
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Mr. Ibamando, how you there? Hello.
You can hear me?
You can hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, so let's
I don't want to know if you
hope.
can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Like I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me as well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so let's wait for can come to also join so that we can start this section. Okay, so let me add can come. Let me try to invite can come. Then we can start this session as soon as possible. Okay. So guys, just wait. We have a message. Okay, so let me get can come on it. Okay. I guess. Can come get joined. Can come. You can try to click on interact, then it will pop up here so that I'll just let you join this section so that we can kickstart this session. Table for we are going to talk about something very, very interesting. It's all about book review. So we are running a good program that will teach you a lot. So I'm preparing so be feeling so because we are going to share a lot of information on this platform. So stay tuned. We are training one of our guests now after they start the program now. Okay, so
Are you talking to me? Mama,
okay, so let me accept Kankam. Great. Okay, so now we have great. Okay, so now we have yeah. Okay, so Yamobi Biakwaba, Yamobi Biajo. So we're joining this platform. And then we are going to talk about something very, very interesting. But before semester starts, we are doing our book review. So book review simply means we do our investigation, we read a lot of books. Now after they are better than discuss book no. And the book I on discussion is very, very interesting. The book name is right here. So it's Streamline, How to Teach Yourself Money. It's mainly talking about financial literacy. So I have two guests here, Mr. Ibamando and Kankam. Kankam is just off. I'll invite him again. So Yebekasa be 1 hour. You penny I invite the audience some person be share my thoughts about this book review. So Inti see a best start book where the true book where friend Kwabena Obindako or an entrepreneur, engineer and author. I'm not sure how this book we. Into person book nibia. You am the number betuja is book that is really changing people's life. Any book we or books be break. Send a medical catch on Sunday live video you review books and then the review Streamline How to Teach Yourself Money. So to start the program, remember guest normal introduction kakra, then we can start the program. So Mr. Mando, I'll be to me introduce one. I'll be very grateful.
Okay, so we have to kindly confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so thank you very much. Yeah, so my name is Ibamondo Bakantiche.
Sure.
Academically, I have a background in the chemical engineering, both a BSc and a master's degree from KNUST.
Wow.
I've also, in a period, I've been training myself to become a data analyst. And then in recent times, I'm pursuing some courses in machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Wow.
But in the midst of all this, we're getting exposure to more information. It looks like we are going to have to change course whilst we'll be applying all that we learned in school.
Okay.
I think that it's important we follow Legends' path. We live life by design, and to live life by design, we have to live with information so
Okay.
that we can achieve certain things before showmanship. So,
Okay.
in brief, that is who I am and what I'm. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibamando. I'll go to Kankam because our audience are waiting to hear from us. Nti, nkɔfoɔ gu so adwane a na ɔmo dwane. Nti Kankam, wobɛtumi introduce wɔn so that we start with our book review.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Riafe. Thank you, Mr. Bamado. And then hello, wonderful viewers. For some reason, I'm not able to turn on my video. I'm not too conversant with TikTok. So please pardon me for today. All right. So my name is Yeboah Kankam. Yeboah is my first name, which is very unusual. And then Kankam is my last name. But I love to be called Kwesi Kankam. I love to be called Kwesi Kankam. So academically, just like Mr. Ibamano said, I have a BSc in chemistry from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And then I did my master's in data science, data analytics. And so ever since I've been practicing as a data analyst, I have had roles working as a supply chain analyst, working as a database developer. So anything data, I do anything data, business analytics. So that is a little bit about me. And then also, we are trying to explore. We feel like life goes beyond academic credentials. We want to live and then make impact. And I'll side with what Mr. Ibamando said that we need to achieve certain things before we do showmanship. So I'm very happy to be on here. And then once again, good day, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are tuning in from.
Okay, so busuafo yɛda mo ase paa sɛ mo introduce mo ho. So afei na wadwene a the next section is going to be amazing because we are going to learn a lot. We have brilliant minds here that they are going to share what they have learned from this book, and some of them are from their own experiences. So as I said, today's review is very simple. Streamline how to teach yourself money, mainly talking about financial literacy. The author is Kwame Obindakun. So if you want to follow this man, go on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. You get his content, and it's amazing. So, Kankam, I hope you are ready, Mr. Bamando. Okay, so
Yes. Let's get started.
okay, so I'll first throw it on you, Mr. Bamando. Stabilize yourself. So, in all, maybe you go through the pieces of stabilize yourself. That's chapter 1, the title of how to teach yourself money. When you talk about stabilizing yourself, what can you say about it before you even go to the questions within?
Okay, so if you say stabilize yourself, it means that you are unstable. There's some instability somewhere. Now, when it comes in with the word yourself, it means that the individual is unstable and needs to be stabilized. But when we ask the question that why will a book which is titled Streamline, How to Teach Yourself Money, which is a financial education book, have to do with stabilizing yourself?
Sure.
The fact is that with our interaction, we have interacted with a lot of people. If I say a lot of people, I mean people who are not blacks or who are not Africans. We have interacted with the Arabs, we've interacted with the whites, and even in recent time with the Asians. And so mixing with all these people, oftentimes it is us who are making efforts to adapt their ways of life. And then we don't try to influence ourselves and our way of life, our culture on anybody. But if they have come to Ghana or any part in Africa or in a black community or African community, they try to infuse and get their culture subtly in what we do. So it makes us, we become very confused. We become very unsettled, very unstable. So what do I do? Do I apply the principles that are taught me by the church, or the principles that are taught to me by my parents, or the principles that are taught to me that I learned from my colleagues, friends who are of other faith? Let's say maybe the Islamic friends we have, the Buddhist friends we have, So all these things, we become so very confused. And the point is that the mind cannot exist without the body. Neither can the body exist without the mind. So that's what we call mind-body connection. So we need these two pieces, the mind and the body, to be in perfect alignment, to be in perfect stability before we can forge ahead in any direction. So that's why it is important, because if you are whole, you are healthy, you do not need to be worried about anything. You have a clear mind as to what you want to do. And money is power. So the education that, and then importantly, let me state this. The religions that have been introduced to Africans and blacks, the kind of education that is prepared and organized for us, the kind of governance and leadership schemes that we oftentimes blindly adopt, they are the tools that are perpetrating and further unsettling us. So before we can get our finances right, we need our minds to be very right. And that's why it is important that we stabilize ourselves, we become very calm, and approach life with purpose. So this is what I can say about stabilizing yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. So whatever you do, you have to first stabilize yourself before you can even proceed, right? So I'm coming to you with the next question. So as I was reading the book, right from the chapter 1, I want to read a quote from this book, Streamline, written by Obindako. So he said, most of us born in Africa have been programmed to see the white man as our savior. As a matter of fact, Jesus has been made white and the devil had been made black. This leads me to the question that showing Jesus as white and the devil as black has effects on the African dignity. So can
Okay,
come.
thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Riafri. So this is a very intriguing question, and I'm going to do a blend of Chi and then English, if you don't mind.
Sure,
So,
that's fine.
like he said, in an account adage, we have this old saying that say, "Oh, ko asorina sia bronia yeden signa weshia nyame." All right. Let me also
Sure.
use this scenario when everybody has a very beautiful woman or a very beautiful child. Yeah, and also say, "Abia mi brony." You hardly hear people say mi bibini, even though people do say mi bibini, but you hardly. Obia say mi brony, mi brony.
Sure.
So
Sure.
those things that we hear is a continuous exposure to something that we've had from, not, it didn't start today, something that we've had exposure to for over 200 years or so, right? So it does have an effect on you as an African, in fact, your African dignity. Because and I love to use scenarios. Stay me, I may be examples. And for example, if I take two children, right? Not Bako, Timbia, Mekatran, and say, your grandfathers were great, your grandfathers were this, your grandfather this, they did all these great things, right? And then the other one, I'm constantly telling him that you are maybe dark skin, you are black, you are inferior, you are a backward person, all those kind of things, right? Consistently, constantly for so many number of years. automatically it makes you feel inferior. So that is why for us as Africans, anytime that you are going to church, you see a white Jesus. When you see the paintings of Christ, you see, and those things are just things that people are put in place for us to make us feel inferior. And they didn't start from now. So yes, it makes the person feel inferior, and then it makes the person feel down or even feel like I'm irrelevant. And that is why they have that saying that may call why would we even think and see another person as a superior human being than us? So automatically you are losing the battle in the mind. Like Mr. Obin will always say, the mind is the battlefield. Nti wodi kan di nkuku ɛwɔ adwene mu dada because of this kind of concept, and it will always make you feel inferior. But they yɛhwɛ in society yi mu a obi wɔ hɔ
Wait,
a
wait,
ɛtumi
wait
sɛ
a wait a minute, no, na obi nso bɛka sɛ obi bɛka sɛ na sɛ Yesu yɛ Broni a ɛno deɛ have any effect biara ɛno deɛ sɛ ɛnka hwee. Saa nipa ko no sɛ me na ɔbɛka kyerɛ no.
yeah, good question. So we make us the yes you brony and country. So we are talking about a man whom a particular religion. Again, let me state emphatically that we are not here to attack anybody's religion. We are all brothers and sisters and we are trying to learn. Nti yɛfom obi a momfa nkyɛn, yɛnkasa ntia obi aso. Also if oye nipa fitaa nti carry ɛka biribi. If you are looking at it from the long run, ɛka biribi. Say ɛka sɛ ebi oye nipa fitaa na say we take a look at it from the standpoint that all of us are humans and other people are not using it as an advantage against us. They are okay. But you want so if it are not in the who painting so be who say bonsam mum you tuntum and I use mum a fita be who angel we fita ana nyoye boni no e
Na
tuntum so
na
automatically. Mhm.
kanka ma ɔkae me wɔhu angel a ɔyɛ tuntum da.
Correct. Once enjoy it to that, but say but you painting a picture of the devil. The devil is always what? Black. And then the devil is always what? That but meaning most of us on this earth right now have never encountered the devil, have never encountered Christ before. Is right? And he said, a farmer put there is always looking, saying, yeah, that's a they took for man automatically, it affects us and then it makes you feel inferior. And that has always been the problem of us Africans. And even the way we worship in our various religious, institutions, it still looks at the white person or maybe the Arabians or and then we put ours aside. So I don't want to go much into the religious aspect, but yes, that kind of concept makes most Africans feel inferior and
Okay.
backward people.
So with us, we are Africans, right? Automatically, it's more like when it comes to this game, we are losing because we are the devil. Sure. So what are you telling the average African? Say, um, how can he liberate himself from because I heard something that a man, a white man, came to Ghana, and immediately we saw that the person is a white person. He wanted to mine gold, and someone just picked a map of Ghana and showed him where gold is. This guy went there, cut some cocoa trees down just because he want gold, and he got another Ghanaians fighting for him, fighting their own black brothers just because a white man want to mine gold on their own land. So what are some of the solutions? And I can testify that maybe we have been created to fear. We see white. We let me say sometimes we see them to be God. So what are some of the solutions that you are suggesting for any African out there?
Oh, a good question. And I will speak briefly on this so that Mr. Ibamando can also come in. I know he would
Sure,
definitely love to chip in something. Once
sure.
Senior Okano, obi a ɔsi yɛ nananom ebi asɛbi o nan nananom deɛ sɛbi o munim nyansa. Those things is because we don't know who we are. But one of the solutions to this is that we study African history. And when I talk about African history, I'm not talking about yeah, Abakosema a year 1957 ever, if I'm using Ghana as an example, or I'm not even talking about our history when we got exposed or when we had an encounter with the Western world. I'm talking about 1,000 to 6,000, 10,000 BC what the end made the maker because that will unleash certain things onto you that before we had encounter with the Europeans, no, we have great kingdoms like the Benin Kingdom, the Shanghai Kingdom, old Ghana Empire in Mali, all those kingdoms like ancient Egypt. I'm not even talking about the current Egypt that you see who look Arabians. I'm talking about Egypt that was called Kemet, which means the land of the black people who were black Egyptians. Those are the people that I'm talking about who were able to do great things. Into one solution here, say abakosem na yeshia no. Yeshia beyond slavery. Yeshia beyond 1957. And there's a reason why the Western media and even our curriculum no, by any man, think the trace slavery no kwa and my nneɛma kɛseɛ a yɛn nananom yɛɛyɛ. Look at even Ashantis, for example. I'm using them as a case study. Look how they fought the British, and look at how our forefathers actually fought the British. Look at how places like when you go to Egypt and those places, how they fought them. All those things, no more how great our people were. Omo nka ho asɛm. Nti sɛ yɛbɛtumi overcome this fear concept sɛ yɛhu buroni a yɛhu yɛ nyame a na yɛnko ma no a I just say you could share your Marcosan. Now you who say yeah, kings and queens, and then actually the origination of this world as we see right now began from us, and our forefathers were great people before we even encountered the Europeans and also the Western world. And now we are still great, but we just have to identify our roots or know our identity by studying our history, 1,000 to 6,000 or 10,000 BC, so that we'll be able to know who we truly are, and then we will be able to overcome this fear in our minds.
Wow, wow. Your knowing of yourself will really liberate you, indeed, as you said. And coming back to Mr. Mbamando, it won't be the same question because I want us to move a little bit faster. So, Mr. Mbamando, another quote from the book that is still stabilize yourself, a book written by Obin Dako. He says that Africans are hardly connected to anything science, technology, innovation, and the likes. They are very easily linked to entertainment and sports. So this leads to the question that why are Africans mostly seen in entertainment and sports, and what does it mean for innovation? So what you're saying is because meaning they share TikTok, look at TikTok, and even the Facebook. Those who are having the most following are those who are joking on that platform. Meanwhile, this platform is a tool for us to make something valuable. So why are we always in the entertainment and the sports industry, but not anything innovative, productive?
But we are now adapting to
Yeah, the answer is simple, which is to keep us away from what is necessary for life and dominance. Let's remind ourselves of
I would like get an article.
what our ancestors went through in the era of colonization and slavery. Before the encounter,
You don't have like
someone probably might have spied on us. Someone had chanced us somewhere, and then they got to know that this group of people are so endowed with natural resources, with intellect, with high IQ. And let no one lie to you. Every day, everybody, every nation, every continent, maybe only Africa is not united for dominance and power. But every other person has been looking at that. So what any means possible to keep us engaged so much in what would take us away from pursuing scientific innovations and discoveries, these people will do it.
Who are these people?
Those who have always sought to subjugate us.
Sure.
It could be those who perpetrated colonization, and slavery.
Okay.
Right. So what they do is that they try to make available some resources which would keep us so excited. Let me give you a scientific twist. There is this hormone called dopamine. It is called that is the happy hormone. When you are very happy and excited, it means that this hormone is so high in you. It is a primary driver of the brain's reward system, and it spikes. When it spikes, we experience something pleasurable. And that's why, if you want to look at how it works, sometimes when you are watching certain content on any platform, you wish to stop, but there is this invisible force that is keeping you still glued to the screens. So
Sure.
what they do through the institutions which are supposed to be which are labeled diplomatic avenues of engagement, right, is to make some resources available to us, keep us so excited, and get us addicted to these activities that are so entertaining. And yes, entertaining. And the other thing is that in sports, you see most of the sports that are very strength demanding, boxing, athletics, even football, basketball, the predominant race are blacks.
Why?
Look at those who are always, because they say you are strong and you can bulldoze your way through, you can win a trophy, and then they make it competitive for you to outbeat your brother.
Sure.
So you are so determined to outbeat your brother, where the place or the avenue for dominance is not that entertainment or sports. So for me, the whole thing about keeping us Africans and blacks predominantly is because of their aim to perpetually rule over us. And what they will do is to identify one person, make him so rich, and with the lies that we have been told that we are poor, we all want, like, that supposed rich person is the one person we look up to, and everybody aims to become like him. And once we aim to become like him, will you bother going to look for because Ekomedo, let's face it, Ekomedo. So you want to feed yourself, you want to clothe yourself and all that. So
Okay.
that's why you get a lot of blacks and Africans in sports. In France, the France national team, football national team is, you
Sure.
ask whether it is an European team or is an African or a black team.
Okay. So someone will also say that everyone has what they are good at. So don't you think maybe the Africans are naturally good at those stuffs, and we should leave innovation and productivity and manufacturing to the other race?
No. Are we the only ones good at that? Are we the only human beings?
I don't think so.
And let's not fool ourselves. Let's be reminded that this attempt, it didn't start today. It's been there several years before now, right? And then every attempt has also been made to not popularize what do you call it? People of our kind. If I say people of our kind, I mean blacks and Africans. The effort has been made so that they are not glorified. I'll give an example. All of us who have gone through school, we have been aware of the onion bulb or electric bulb discovery by Thomas, what do you call him, Edison. Is it possible that Thomas Edison was the only one who worked in his lab on all the inventions that are attributed to him? I will challenge that. I challenge that on data that is available.
Mr. Ibamando, we are listening. Are you there?
Because there is yeah, I'm here. Can you
Sure, we
hear
are
me?
listening. Okay. Yeah, we can hear you
There's
now.
an African American. Okay. There was an African American by the name Lewis Howard Latimer, and he's the
Sure,
one
Louis.
who was said Howard Latimer. He's the
Sure,
one. He
sure.
played a major influence on electricity. He also served as an invaluable partner to both Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell. Graham Bell is said to have worked on this telephone thing.
So
But
what you are
why is it
trying to
that
say is
anytime
that
there's mention,
so what you are trying to say is that it's not Thomas Edison alone who founded or invited the bulb, right? Is
no,
that what you are saying?
not only him. Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Because
Okay.
if history tells us about the works and contributions of Lewis Howard. So what has happened to him? The only people who celebrate Lewis Howard, and predominantly in America, is the black community.
So why wasn't him
Is
celebrated?
You see, he wasn't celebrated because you have to understand the approach that people use. If someone seeks to dominate you and they try by way of conquest, like they come to you at war, and they realize that at that they cannot overpower you, they will come to you as a friend, but just take the friendship on face value. You know, they will not make you the leader of whatever that you are engaging. You look at the director of an institution and it is one of their own because he has the final say. So every credit, so that it will be that the argument was made that if not for his leadership, every other person who worked under him could not have brought forth the kind of achievement that they did.
So to conclude
You
what
get
you are
me?
saying, you mean the Africans, the black people, have made a lot of invention, but we never heard of them just because they were because of their skin color, right? Hello. Okay, so thank you very much. So Sisi and I joining in. We are reviewing a book called Streamline. So Streamline is a book, a very nice book, inspiring book that will really help you to think differently. This book is written by Abna Obindako. Just search for him on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. You'll find his channel, and it's very, very educating. That's why we are reviewing the book, because the book is what to be reviewed. But if you want to reach out to the author for you to get the book, the number is very simple: 0246 63 1674. 0246 63 18, sorry, 0246 63 1874. Okay, so I'll go back to Kankam. Kankam, are you there? So I
Yes,
want to
sir.
also, I saw something here which was amazing. So he said that a quote from the same book, the same chapter, chapter one. He said, you have to got to get new data on your race as an African if you want to create the financial feature in your country in Africa. So this line up to the question that how knowing your racial identity affects your financial success as African. So someone will be like, okay, you are saying that before I can be rich, I have to go and learn my history and all this stuff. How does it link into financial success?
All right. Fantastic question. So, this is actually a build up on what I said early on. So, again, like I said, I love to use scenarios to build up my points. So, for example, Mr. Riafe, let's say you are actually an apparent heir to a throne. And then we are not talking about just any throne, but we are talking like a throne, like maybe the Asante Hini's throne, right? For example, and for a troll like that, or maybe you are the Gamans or you are the Yana, when we talk about throne, throne comes with wealth, right? And then before you can assume a throne or you can inherit a throne, you need to be a royal. Now, here's the question: if you are born a royal and you do not know by identity that you are a royal, somebody can actually assume your role as the apparent heir of the throne. Nti, sɛ wonim sɛ woyɛ ɔde hyeɛ na ɛsɛ sɛ wodi adeɛ no yie a, obi ba bɛ akoa bi ba bɛdi akonnwa na ɛsɛ nka ayɛ den wodi no. So it's the same thing over here. So it's very important for us to know our racial identity, because when we talk about success encapsulate a whole lot of things. Our health at home, our family at home, but most importantly, finance. Because baby, whether we like it or not, money or finance play a critical role in here. I don't see say unim identity a unhu ne ebeya ubeya ebema uwaye den wedi, because every culture has a system. Every culture has a system. And then when I talk about culture, I mean into my that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the productive part of our culture. And then that productive part of your culture is also tied to your identity. In this, who say be acting and papa mo do a fool, no me cocoa fool. I don't know much me here or me score this in school. Obi nka sɛ ɔkɔ school ɛyɛ, but you have to also understand and then polish what your grandfathers knew about money, right? Polish what your grandfathers knew about money, and then you build on top of it. And then coming back
Okay.
again to the new data. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Can come to be so because maybe I know wako school, what I say, wako school, wako in the masters. How do you expect him say on unquefu? What do you have to say to this person?
Yeah, and no say adeɛ baako a ɛha yɛn a yɛakɔ school no. Wiase obiara nso nkyɛn obiara, ɛna adwuma biara nso nso nkyɛn adwuma bi. Fine, you can go to school, you can get a high paying job, but remember, obi na etua, obi na decide all time. Ɛkyina nka obetumi ayi w'adi. Nti wonso nkyɛn wo nana na ɔkɔ afuom, anaasɛ wonso nkyɛn the man sɛbi ɔwɔ akura so a ɔyɛ the ɔyɛ afuom, wonso nkyɛn. And the reason why we see it that way is because we've been conditioned, we've been programmed that go to school. After school, you get a job. After a job, you marry a beautiful man, ma won cry, we see people what car. Now we will now call heaven. And then that is what we've been conditioned to know. But let's be realistic with ourselves. Over a country like Ghana, how many graduates we produce in a year? Several thousands of graduates. How many white collar girls are there? In Anna Benjamin Ross and Kwan but your program we had in so big a full major a patch say or a backward person and I say be or you hear me. But I'm telling you for a fact that most farmers are actually rich in Ghana. But maybe you will see the way they dress that it be only a backward people. But in school now you can be you know. Anna ama ya dey say yenya broni adwuma anya adwuma bi akabia quote unquote like a useless and I say bibisa. But it's because we don't know who we really are and we don't know that we can build upon farming no betimi packaging yi na ayɛ den ayɛ fɛ sɛ obi yɛ okuani a ebi ɔdɔ na bro na ɛbro no di gu ama ɛmoa bedi na ɛsɛ ba you being maybe somebody who has learned no you realize that you can actually have a food processing aspect of it. How be package a bro in such a way say bro ni yɛ den ɛnsɛ that means you've applied what you've learned but all the two form class family nye because makusua then you have a problem because you don't really know who you are.
Okay, okay. So who's a family a problem and then you don't know who you are because
Yeah.
we Africans we are in the forest and farming or agriculture is one of our greatest advantage. Okay, thank you
Right.
for that awesome submission. Let me come back to Mr. Mando. But before I come to him, after joining her and they review books. So I as a Sunday be a review books any book. But today we are starting with Streamline. Streamline a book be a church or send a church or muska. So it's a same book what I say. The book na when I try I've now been that home. But I search it for him on YouTube, TikTok and Facebook as well. So the number is 0246 63 1874. you can reach out to him to buy the books. Which means I reach out to me. I have copy of the books that I'll ship to you. This book is amazing. Let me hinge on another point. Okay, so another quote from the book. He said, I stop. Okay, so I stopped feeling frustrated, complaining and blaming the government, corruption, leadership, and my problems. Okay, see, Pan-Africa education is the secret. So this led me to come up with another question, saying that how does Pan-African education help us unite as Africans today? Well, because most of the time when you're talking about reality, we don't see the need of, like Pan-Africa. What is it? We want money. We want something. Why Pan-Africa education? Why African unity? Say, but no, Obi Busa was our question here. Then assembly of the kitchen.
Unity, because there's strength in unity. You see, if you and I, let's say we are going for, let me give the scenario of war. Right?
Sure.
And I'm going with 10,000 men, and someone is coming with 50. It's no brainer. The one with 10,000 will subdue easily. Will subdue the one with 50. Now, when Africans unite, remember, what's the current estimated population of the African continent? It's some 1.2, 1.3 billion.
Sure.
People.
Sure.
When we unite, it means that we will be in charge of everything African. We'll be in charge of our gold. We will be in charge of our bauxite, our lithium, our forest, our water, our land. We will develop our own governance systems. Everything that would forge the interests of the African, we will be in charge of. But if you are not united, anybody and everybody can come in between you and your brother. Let's put it in the context of our own families. Sometimes you get an outsider who is in unity with your blood relation fighting you. But there are other families where the siblings and the parents are so united that no matter who comes, there's no penetration to destabilize them. The reason why it is important for us Africans to be united and prosecute the African agenda, which is to live our lives as Africans. We are not seeking I'm not sure we are seeking to go and colonize some other race. No, we just want to be Africans. But you will see the system, the global systems that have been put in place. They whip our leadership into line. Remember, somewhere in 1884, Africa was partitioned, was shared like someone's property. Someone just willed Africans. 5 countries. The 6th one was an observer. Why did they do this? Africans today, we have imaginary borders. Now, look at Ghana, the neighbors of Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Burkina Faso. These are all French colonies. Now, you and I, to even cross to Togo, to Burkina Faso, to Ivory Coast, look at the barriers that exist between us.
Okay, so
but I'm yet to go to any part in Europe. But
okay, so
hello,
yeah, this leads. Okay,
I learned in Europe. You can just move from one European country to another without any restriction. Maybe can confirm that, or if you have also been there, you can let us know. So if we are united, we'll trade among ourselves on a common currency, and then we'll be a force to reckon with. Nobody will come from their country, right? Nobody will come from their country to come and tell us how to execute our educational agenda, how to rule our people, to tell us that man should marry woman, to come and influence our elections. to come and tell us what is good, because someone has self-elected themselves as the assistant god of us Africans.
Okay, so
So
someone will also say that we have our own president. I don't know.
the strength in unity and this.
You and then I'll take it from there. Hello, Mister.
Yeah, I think the
Pacho,
network. There's network.
is it
Yeah,
okay
so
now?
I can hear you.
Okay, so
Yeah, I can hear you.
you just end your points, then I'll take it from there.
No, I'd ended.
Okay,
Ended.
so
But I think the
someone.
network is not stable, so it takes time for you to hear.
Someone will also say that the African are on their own. We have all African presidents. They are Africans. So why talking about someone coming to rule us or all these stuff? We have our own presidents elected by us. So what's the problem of the influence of other people coming into our governance? Okay, okay. So I don't know whether my question was heard.
Okay, so confirm if you can hear me before I proceed.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can hear you.
Yeah, your
Hello.
question was heard. I just wanted to be sure you can hear me
Yeah,
before I respond.
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it's true. We have our own president. We have our own government. But the question is, the question you ask yourself: whose interests do these governments serve? In this Ghana, we were here. We're in this Ghana. Ghana is in Africa. When in recent times the anti-LGBTQ bill was sent to Parliament, you heard what the U.S. Embassy said. So that is a diplomatic interference in the government, in the governance of a country, of a people who are said to be independent. And for me, I think what we have is a kind of political freedom, which is not even a total freedom in itself, because we still get interferences from everybody. They want to occupy us with the unnecessary while they prosecute their agenda. When on this same anti-LGBT thing, you remember the ambassador of Australia went to Parliament and made certain engaged leadership of Parliament. Don't you think these engagements have the tendency of influencing? If we don't have people who are firm, don't you think it has a tendency of influencing their direction? And will you not tell me that is an interference in our governance? Are you able to tell me that a Ghanaian or a group of Africans from any of the embassies, Ghanaian embassies, are able to go to any government in Europe, in Asia, in America, or the American government and suggest to them what to do? So for me, I see the institutions that are here and as a watchdog on the activities of us Africans. In fact, I will recommend this book that was written by John Perkin, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. If you read that book, it exposes to you in depth how government and African governments in particular are interfered. Their governance are interfered. Now, what is the attitude of these self-elected global policemen on African leaders who set out to liberate and develop their people and countries. Do you think that most of them who we later hear are dead, they die out of natural cause? Doesn't it raise a question? Now
It does.
everybody has fought it. What is so difficult for Burkina Faso? What is so difficult for Burkina Faso? Okay, you are in my country. I say, okay, I don't need you. Just don't interfere in my things. But then you tell me that you won't leave. Why must it take force for me to be on my own, to do my own things? And even after that, the gentleman is still pursued. Because they know that there's always someone who is a greedy person in the setup, who is only looking at their own interests. So they will identify that individual and prosecute their agenda. So yes,
Okay.
it's true we have, what do we call it, our presidents, but how free are they to operate? And political leadership in itself is not enough. What we need as Africans everywhere is economic leadership, economic freedom, because that, for me, is true freedom.
Okay.
Because
Thank
if
you very
someone
much.
does not control what I eat, when I eat, where I work, if someone doesn't control these things, then the person will not have the power to command me or suggest to me as to how to go about my own life.
Okay. So thank you very much. I think I have one question. Then we move on to the next section. So as an average Ghanaian or African, now you have made us know that our system is just our governance is not intentionally run by our own people, but there's a lot of remote control something. So as me as an African, as individual, what should I do? Then I mean, what should I do? Should I rely on them? What should I do? Because why am I saying this? Because some during this we have a lot of manifesto. When I come out,
Is,
do
is that
this.
to me
When I
or to
come out,
Kankam?
to you before I move on to the next one. The reason why I'm saying that is that some people have given us all promises. And I see a lot of young people following these people. Do you think they should follow them, or they should find something to do? Yeah, it's your question.
Oh, okay. Uh, can you remind me of the first part? Just remind me of the first part of the
So
question so that
so
I
you
answer
were
it well.
saying that our government, is more like it's a remote control governance, because you can see that our leaders are the presidents, but really they are just implementing stuff on behalf of someone. So as a youth, that we always say that we are waiting for the government to build businesses, then we are waiting for this. I can sometimes I become fed up, because you go to a town, their city is not clean, or their town is not clean, but they are waiting for a particular government to come and do it for them. So this kind of mindset, as like we are always waiting for these leaders to come, since the system is not controlled by them. What's your advice for an average Ghanaian or African?
My suggestion, I can only make a suggestion, but my suggestion is that don't wait
Sure.
for anybody. And I would paraphrase. I would take a cue from what Legend says, Obindaku. Don't wait for government. Don't wait for yourself. Don't even wait for God, because an orphan does not wait on the mother, because your mother is dead. Your father is dead. So if you are waiting for your mother or father to feed you, then you will die. Now, the promises that are amplified, that are made by these politicians, brilliant in how they are crafted, is the implementation which is the problem. So I don't have an issue if someone wants to follow a certain political party because of their ideologies. That's fair. That's fair. But what should happen is that you need to realize that none of them is coming to save you. That's first of all. None of them is coming to save you. Yeah, can you hear me? We have in.
So as you said, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. Uh-huh.
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay,
you are.
sure,
You are.
sure, sure. So thank you very much. So
Yeah,
we
so
shouldn't wait
none of them
on
is
them,
coming to
right?
save you. No, don't wait on them. Find something and do. Legend
Okay.
recommends a lot of things. Go and sell renewal. Kodo, Kotrit Aboboya. Look at these bus stop boys. Look at the kind of employment it's creating. Look at what it is doing to the country. If he had said that, okay, we'll wait for the government to come and do this, A to come and do B, do you think the impact that they are creating, that impact would have been created? Look at the number of people that they are helping to engage. Is that not employment enough? The other day I read on one of their videos where someone was saying that these ladies and gentlemen should be given military training and purposely deployed to carry out this kind of exercise. Is not a brilliant idea for worth considering?
Sure,
So don't
sure.
wait. Just figure in your own neighborhood, in your own environment, opportunities are bound everywhere, and from every location, money can be made. But you just have to have the right knowledge. And I keep saying it that data is information. Information is light, and applied information is liberation. What most of our colleagues need is the necessary information. Only then will we be able to step aside all these other influences and pursue our own course. And we have to be deliberate about it. We have to be very deliberate about it. So this is what
The
the submission I can make on this.
Okay, so we have to be deliberate about searching for information, like just like this book that we are reviewing it. Thank you very much for that brilliant
Definitely.
submission. Ending with the chapter one, so that we move on directly to the chapter two. Chapter two, we don't have much questions, so we will finish it, wrap up, and those who are online, you can be allowed to add on, ask questions, do suggestions, then we will close for the day. Can come. You always talk about history, right? So I want to ask.
Right.
So let me read something here. Study the history of Africa at least 1,006,000 years at least. So my question is studying Africa for our history from 1,000 and 2,000 years ago useful for the modern history economic development? Yɛn ho nkyerɛ yɛn wɔ sɛ yɛnkɔsua history. History ɛbɛma yɛn aduane adi. Can come to you.
I say history of Eddie. Fantastic. So, okay, me can say history of Eddie, but history ebe de abakosem ebiewani. Your history enlightens you, and I'm going to state this. Ye kase bibi abakosem a enye sa ade a aba a ekwana sa aba etwam nti ehu hia. As a matter of fact, history is as fresh as it is today. And the reason why I'm saying is that your greatness, your identity, who you become is all tied to your history. And indeed, yes, and who has a question because so okay, yeah, current system most African countries we are just continuing what we inherited from colonial masters. As a matter of fact, again, Africa, we might have political independence, but we still have influence of what we call neo colonialism. Adiaba Kwana Kwame Nkrumah, Eka Nwasempa. And that is why a history near the Mr. Beda, he was saying that learn 1,000 to 6,000 BC. Why? There's a reason why you don't hear much about history between those era. And that is because that is where you found great things that are Father's Day. Now, people will even talk about Pythagoras.
Ebi
Now, when
ebi
you look at the
great
pyramids,
great things na
mhm,
ebi ni den. Great things na ebi ni den.
and
Ebi ni
also
den a
Nabebano. So,
Sure.
great things in Ibiza, for example, when you look at the pyramids. Now, the pyramids wasn't built by any aliens, any amount for Kano. Now, Nipa Bruni, and answer question, Yobia, he's very smart. Anything that is very enlightening and it's about Africa, they will make fun out of it. So, aliens, it wasn't aliens. But they apply the principles of Pythagoras theorem At that time, Pythagoras wasn't even born, but he came, learned, documented it. Now, again, when you look at the old Mali Empire, great things like the kind of navigation system that they had, the Bono people who are close to the Niger Delta, the kind of navigational concept that they were able to use to build what we call boats. And this concept, was copied by the Egyptians at that time, and then we call some people called the Phoenicians. They also learned it from the Egyptians, and then the Phoenicians also taught the Greeks and then the Romans. As a matter of fact, as at that time, we are talking about 6,000 to 10,000 BC. People like the Europeans, they could not even read coordinates. But our grandfathers, the people who are the Bonos, the Egyptians, I'm talking about the black Egyptians. I'm not talking about the current Egyptians that you see. Because as a matter of fact, most of them, they don't really know who they are. They were able to read coordinates, and in fact, they had encounter with the new world, which is now the present America. Who person who more about it? I go and read this book. They came before Columbus, written by Ivan Van Satima. Those are some of the books that we need to read that will give us history of Africans, 1000 to 6000 BC, 10,000 BC. We have books by Chancellor Williams. We have books by Sheikh Anta Diop, who is a Senegalese, by the way. No, the book in the were French, but we've translated some of them. You can read them. We have Professor Molefe Asante. All these men have written books about African history, they are Pan Africanists. And the reason why I'm making reference to these men is because it is best to read your history from people who are like you. Because some person who me missing and then is mɛkɔ me nana hɔ anaasɛ mɛkɔ friend saying me nana baa hɔ anaasɛ me nana bɛrima hɔ. Worst case scenario, I will go to the community where she was living when she was young. And it's the same way. In here history, you need to learn from people who are Pan-Africans, who are ethically unbiased about Africans, and then they write the good deeds about Africans, and also equally write some of the bad things that we have done, and then we can correct on. And the history, the you will be able to build on it, build on that knowledge, and then Africa will not just be politically independent, but also you also become economically independent. And again, it's tied to our history because when we learn the history, it will unleash something about us, and then we'll be able to focus on our identity and use our identity to our advantage.
Okay, thank you very much. So according to Kankam, history is very important. Okay, so since I have Kankam only on the call, I'll just wrap up, and that'll be all. So Kankam, the chapter 2 also talk about personal financial education. I think this is a topic that's very crucial, but we underestimate it. It's not we underestimate. We don't even know much about it. Well, I don't really remember going from primary to JHS to SS to university. Any topic talking about how you can make money after making money, how you can multiply that money, and how you can invest the money and all this stuff. So, is this very important in our setting? Financial financial
Uh,
education.
yes, financial education is imperative and is very important because sɛbi o wobɛdi yie na sɛ w'asom bɛdwo a ɛsɛ sɛ ɔwo sika kakra, right? Now wode yɛmfa for example menware that, let me use relationship or most relationships. Sometimes ɛbɛkɔ yie koraa ɛsɛ sikasɛm no yɛ den ɛkɔ yie. And then again, wow, now pressure on my, if you want to take care of your children, if you want to take care of your family, finance or money plays a critical role in all of these things. So financial education is very important. But one thing is that most of the time, these financial education that we will need to actually live life, they are not taught in school. When you talk about finance, I'm not even talking about MBA finance and that's in a bachelor of business school. No, we are talking about financial education. Financial education, the Bobra. I think, Eric, are you there?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here.
Yeah, so we are talking about
Hello.
financial education, the Bobra. Yeah, we can hear you. Financial education, the Bobra. And that one is very dependent on you. But if you are fortunate enough, now, umame and answer papa now of are able to pass on this kind of information to you, then you save a lot of time. But if you are looking at it from the school standpoint, say, oh, call, me pay offer, me throw business plan, yes, it works for some people, but generally for Ghanaians or most will not work for us. These ones will not work for us, but you need to really study the system and then you tailor something to yourself depending on how the system is. So financial education is very important and don't limit yourself to what is taught in school. And then a book moody. Yeah, penny for the baby or ɔmo nyinaa wɔn na ɛwɔ financial education kyerɛ ɔmo akɔ big schools ne ade ade but yɛhwɛ big institutions both corporate and private a nea egu ne nyinaa yɛ ɔmo a ɔmo kuta degrees akɛseɛ ɛna egu no but maame ma sɛ ɔtɔn adeɛ wɔ kejitia anaasɛ makola market no watɔn adeɛ na and she has passed it on to ne ba ne de ama ne ba saa then the business is still running and that is because they know something that is different from what the people know. And what most of the people know, which is
Nti
taught in school, no, and
sasa
find my system. No.
can come that's something and then
That's something, you know. That's something, and then so that something is tied to our history. Because my master make kind say, you know, ono so share ade ni free ne maame ho. Ne maame share free ne nana ho. So you see, this kind of information, people might look at it as a informal. Send a sika udani dani sika. I'm a scan on send me one CBA and I'm $1. And do I pay $10? If I pay $100, if I pay 100 cities, 1,000 cities. Saa nneɛma no yɛnkyerɛ wɔ school mu because as a matter of fact the school is actually teaching you to complete and come get a job and then you become a slave to your 9 to 5 job. But you are the and then I'll be. But personal finance is when you know that my income is actually my base for investment. That's how it's kind mean, you know. Me the year near my phone to make me a national service personnel. Skaka kana minyano. Make me the BB. Make me a banker. Make me a teacher. Make me a nurse. The money that comes to me, I can actually save some and use it to do extra thing a bit my then. I'm me extra income because depending on one source of income just 1 out of 1 million is a very minute number. And it's your muka oh here you for obedi. But no crown is still risky because you can lose your job, and then when you lose your job, that is the end. So those are some of the things that I can say about personal finance. And one of ushia who do home be or business you learn seminars do how comment cancer seminars near cabo for 10 equity name one my am fa your system no more. Just simple thing more one city better than the send 100 cities. Those are some of the things that you need to give yourself to. And that one, look at the local people. They have a lot of information, and when you get close to them, you will learn more.
okay when you get close to them you learn more. Can come with them in Toronto, me an example. You know say growing up no na me didn't say yeah me bia ade so me na me dey quit. But now no by adapting the digital form of it no, it's going to who say ade na no na me no but this time around me the normal for Friday I can. And I think say any woman because people will be like, "Eh, you can sell or me I can do it." Then I realized that when I check my background, I was always with my mom and she was always taking me to places to go and so. So it's not something new. So you have said something. Okay. So the person will conclude it with another question, which goes like, when we are made to believe that not this one. Okay, so I think say no more. Um, okay. So don't let anyone use superstition. Okay. So this is very simple. Say don't let anyone use superstition and magic to keep collecting your money. Can come the na ɛwɔ ha na most of the times nze ebi kɔ etimi ka sɛ wɔ hɔ kɔ obi timi ka sɛ nigga wei. Last time it is nkɔfɔ sɛ sɛbi a ka this man. Can be Japan obi wɔ ha a ɔnam hɔ kwa gedo ne this kind of stuff. Saa spirit sam na ɛne sika difference bɛ na wɔ mu. Obi tumi yɛ spirit sam nye sika na.
Again, this is a very wonderful question, and I think Mr. Ibamando wants to be added back. So if you can check him, um,
Yeah,
to speak briefly on that, Mr. Riafe, sir,
sure.
spirit seminar will come as a and then I'm out for come as a me no one has to see a class. If we hear that Mr. Riafe is doing something great, which is capital intensive, we make us a spirit. But my question is people who say that say spirit seminal. And they also confess that spirit in Naibia. You see, our system
Maybe
has
I'm gonna say I saw the moja konti onya moja. Ana
any only family than COVID any. So let me come back to it. So this is the thing. The fact of the matter is when it comes to wealth, financial independence, financial freedom, there is no myth or magic attached to it. The reason why I'm saying this is that when it comes to wealth creation, money, financial education, you need certain kind of information. Number one. Number two, you need certain kind of what mindset. And or more Metallica spirituality or more they are overly religious because they know that they can pray and the money will fall out of thin hair. Obetumi abɔ mpaeɛ onya Yesu mogya bi anaasɛ onya ayi bi a ebetumi ama na ayɛ dɛn ebetumi ama na anya sika which is not true because there are a lot of people who are not religious but they are very wealthy. They are very wealthy because they know certain kind of information. Number one. Number two, they are solving a particular problem in the society. And the moment you identify a problem and then you are solving that problem, automatically you are going to make ends meet. And even beyond that, you create wealth out of it. Those myths is what is actually deteriorating the minds of most Africans, and especially Ghana, the to be so West. Say me bibi me koye huhu me ansa na menyeska. Ofi yes huhu niema no. If prayer will make you rich or prayer will give you financial breakthrough, then most of the holy books that we read would have been written for nothing because some of the holy books even talks about going to the ant and learning from him. It talks about hard work. So financial breakthrough is about hard work and having certain kind of information. And let me conclude with this. When you talk about hard work, and not today say be a obi or yeah, juma you. When you talk about hard work, we are talking about being selfless, number one, being determined, and then also being smart enough to identify the loopholes of whatever thing that you are doing. Send a better, you'll be able to what learn every day and then polish yourself and then get to the top. It doesn't come easy. It comes with hard work and then determination. Now, we are disturbing God because whatever thing that it takes for you to become wealthy is in abundance. But it is up to you to fine tune your mind and then those who do machine learning engineering, you have to fine tune your mind and then do feature engineering. The feature engineering here is that take out the chaff, you free and then try to learn something new. Try to learn something new every day when it comes to finance, and then you see your life turning around.
then you see my kind turning around for me. And then you do as right there. Thank you very much, Kankam. I'm trying to add Mr. Ibamando, but I don't know why. It seems that and go through. So let me also come up with another question. Um, one question is in the book, not also before you can be rich, Okay, so let me read it from here. I see the streams of income we are able to build shows our financial level of expertise. So I want to ask this question: why do jobs like teaching and nursing struggle to make um, extra income? Because me know say most of the time, no, obi wɔ teacher ni a ɔse bi yɛ sika bi anim. Saa nipa bi sei no, asɛm bɛ na ɔbɛka kyerɛ no. Ɛyi dɛn na ɔnyɛ?
This
Dɛn na
is
ɔnyɛ?
a
Sisi a
this is
yɛmfa
an
sɛ obi wɔ ha
interesting question.
sure, obi wɔ ha ɔyɛ teacher ni, ɔyɛ nurse, ɔyɛ doctor. Like we're living a life now, they be spending more than the income coming to him and his family. Saa
Right.
nipa ko yi, I think say yɛ mu bebree na yɛ bi dɛn na ɔnyɛ? is it okay so obe give it no call baby akoye adwuma be man ska kese and I say what do you suggest for this person?
Good. On the, let me start from visa na aspect no. On the obi also beji visa etu kwan ebia o ni fi o cars wa tonton no okọ no. Okọ so okọ no okọ do okọ ko yi dwuma den. Obu okọ yi dwuma be 3 4 to make ends meet over there. So coming again, especially be your year ben juma. Now you know you are most likely aware of the amount that will come to you monthly. So yeah, juma you take akabusumi biya 99% of the time and uni sky bear day a bound chain. So what I think one thing that we lag behind is we don't budget. Number one, most of us don't budget. Scanning man is the money. Oh, but so many money between me can be. No, I there. No, we're this kind of. And some of the times we try to also compare our lives to others, and then we live certain kind of lifestyle that puts pressure on us. Now we are being you why next we teacher here. Bibi and so on say obutimi aton bibi. You can start something small. Maybe out try there, but also check in catch it on. Now our problem is that we look down on certain things, but we don't know that those small things, they come together to become something big. Maybe I may teacher me a banker, but some mobile money joint. That mobile money joint will also be giving you some income. ABI may next me or some provisions, ABI may turn bankuni tilapia. Those are also extra source of income a bed on check. But if you are looking at ABI may poor country be and then you have a problem. The reason why I'm saying that you have a problem is that it's not about life is not about money alone. Sometimes it's about the value and how people even cherish you. So be build story on power why you're depressed, all those kind of things. No, that is not the life that we want to live. But what I'm trying to say is that we are nurse, we teacher, you may be out, you may be the money that comes to you, you are already aware of the money that comes to you. Avoid unnecessary loans. Oko waria. And yet, chinchina, so yeah, then we by force. Come on, how they create huge wedding. No, in Kabet, me cry the ABB, bet me they are starting at on BB. Your monthly money, my in
Can come
you start something. Yeah.
nadamfo bi yɛ eyi ne bi na ɔno nso wasɛte bar no nti so wanyɛ ama no
Mm-hmm.
anyɛ sɛ ɔmka sɛ ne deɛ no ɛyɛ kolo ɔn sɛ yɛwɔ that kind of nsɛm no a yɛka no na awareɛ wei deɛ nti ɛno nsa ne ɔn sɛ saa nneɛma wei nyinaa yɛ reality so nkurɔfoɔ bɛka sɛ na ɔbaa fanfan sei na awareɛ kogyankogya bɛn na ɔmoyɛ ne saa no nti ɛsɛ
Oh, your problem,
ɔpɛ sika na ɔyɛ no big nti ade na ɔka sɛ ma ne ɛma
your problem, Mr. We have to open. Also, one a catcher will say, man, yet white where the Amawari and Indian, and I have to sometimes people go as far as taking loans to do the wedding. So, Scano, that's what makes me idea. Maybe I mean, country saying, yeah. But the problem is, if you don't have it, why are you looking at what somebody has done to also, do the same thing when you know you do not have the financial capacity? ABR, what's your idea? When you sell koto car now koto no. Fine, yeah, it's not going. The car is coming to become a liability. Car no work or party or baby. Auto gas, moody comment and but the car is not giving you any income. Why do you necessarily have to go get a vehicle? Ebia, o koware. Obetimi akwakuye efie de enko ada achi juniors kana supposedly if you want to do white wedding you can do it but sisi na woni no why do you want to why do you want to do that? Now akwaji loan 40% interest. Now akwaji just to marry, which is not going to yield any income. So that is one problem of ours. And then I think our exposure to certain part of social media and high and they create you unnecessary pressure. But then if you live minimal, so because the living minimal, I'm not looking at the standpoint say yeah, and your whole changing time be not happy like oh my too much. No, what I'm trying to say is that if for example if I can afford to purchase a Mercedes to take me to work, I'd rather purchase a Toyota Corolla and it will also take me to work. And then the money never catch and make him the make him the baby. And to say at the corner me and whether it's a business, whether it's an investment, need a certain level. Me mu 100,000 cities na rekoto car enkame. Obi ti say let's fight more. When they started, almost and promotion of Bentley, almost Ferrari. Do you think they will be where they are right now? But they built the business to a certain level. Who is a level where you see me 100,000
Wow.
cities square free more and coming. But most of us, let's start here, boom. Or share you must see no akoto asase. Na asase no, wa share blocks. Some of us have been corporate of it before. No, a trouble loss almost 99 aka. But if you have invested that into a certain business, one customer steady at here, ebi a wuton bibi, ebi a utimi man follow, now the kakra then ato so, oko find them free cantaman to ever at the tone of class account business now, then, oh, yeah, no one. You realize that at a certain point, o salary crown found any then, and one thing that I would say finally is that don't despise small beginnings. So to so to grow to so far as it's legit and it's giving you some extra income in addition to salary, yeah, that is what is going to give you leverage, and then try to live minimal. Obi a bibi and found home compare maybe on we nyama na buso into na oil then oil and live your life according to how much you are getting, and always try to add more. The more you add, the more you have some to spend. If you don't have more, you can't live like a wealthy person when you are barely surviving, because the wealthy man has more than enough. You are just starting. So live minimal, invest more, and build leverage.
Wow. 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 I hope we are all learning. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. Live minimal. Don't be shy of what you are doing. Right. Be proud of it. I think now me share Mr. Bernard share some lady B or a nurse. And it's also farming and it's amazing. A nurse who is also farming. It look very beautiful. It's amazing. So can come. I'll end up. I'm trying to join Mr. Bamando, but I think it's a minhana SMS restarting there because yes, I may add you there.
Oh,
It doesn't work. But
it doesn't.
yeah, try say yeah, it doesn't work. I'm trying to add him, but and Nejuma. But I mean, put it up with the last question. Then when we effort, we know we say. Money is not spirit. Money is not spirit. Evil. Want to do how say the the root of money. Then
The
the
root of
love of
all evil
money
is
is the
money,
root of
and
yeah
as the love.
yeah. The love of money is the root of evil. Can come obi like some way at it na scan no. Then I'll come for that same way. Say ska bebree obu say obu hɔ koraa mekai mekai na mekɔ school na me aunty na metumi aunty bi nkyɛn wokɔ na wo save sika na ɔde ma wo spend ne nyinaa save sika bi a na ɔnim sɛ deɛ ɛbɛso na ɔde ma wo. So this kind of thinking na oba sakwa na make that kind of ends meet na get discourage, especially like parents very wealthy in the family. Maybe I'm a teacher for nurse for they will always discourage you doing something like that because you see in this category what them home baby evil. So as a man or kafasa,
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that statement, I think is a Bible verse, if I'm not mistaken, a Bible verse in First Timothy 6:10. If I'm getting the Bible verse correct. Honestly, for the love of money is the root of or is the root of all evil or all kinds of evil, however that you want to put it. Now, I don't know. Once you share the I see share the and sometimes ọmụ di nkurɔfoɔ anim ma ɔmo nkyerɛkyerɛ no ɔmo di nipa bebree awu. If it is the root of all kinds of evil a yɛbɔ afɔdeɛ a sɛ yɛde sika na ɛbɔ nea wobɛyɛ biara wiase biribi a ebia most of the time no wode sika na ɛkɔ akɔyɛ biribi na atɛn ne amɛyɛ biribi foforɔ. Now when the holy book was talking about for the love of money is the root of all evil, all kinds of evil no ɔpa kyerɛ sɛ obi a ɔno ɔfa kwan bɔne so na wadane sika ni brɛ So sisi ni nua kra no o sisi no de enya no ho. Se oku obi kra obeku nipa na o de ayede na o de enya no ho. That is the kind of root of evil na Holy Book ni can once, not the love of money. If I love money, yes, I have to love money because I need money. So sometimes our misinterpretation of the scriptures is a problem. Sometimes is actually a problem. And because the chief won't be breathing, you have been free, Sanya man. So say money is a spirit, and then sky and home, and then now you don't have to think about those things. Money is a system. And for you to get money, you need to understand money. Number one, you need to learn how to teach yourself money. Talking about teaching yourself money, how you get money, how you be able to turn that money or how you be able to multiply that money. You say, Obi we school no kushin ma krom say you don't go school no more and much can indi when but school no kono so yes you we as can na okwa or copy. And as a matter of
A
fact,
couple.
schools where the be when it comes to money, because it makes you look down upon certain kind of your injury. Money and young money you who say and then money is a system. You do this, you get the money. If you don't do it, you don't get the money, you'll be broke. And these are some of the things that we need to learn. Now, you say, may bomb pie say, rather than money will fall from thin air. Ebia, may your contribution be I know that you're so now what's ramming. Do you know how many times somebody has done this contribution and is still remaining broke? No, be a catch so in running home when here for in running these people. If we say thy will of God be done on it, the will of God is not poverty. The will of God is not always poverty or living in misery. If we are going to die and go to a place that is full of gold, the oppressor wouldn't come and bring us the holy book to come and mine our gold. So if the will of God be done on earth, that's a could did that it means that on this earth the will of God is happening, and the will of God is not for us to be poor. It's for us to be joyous, to be people who are creative, innovative, and enjoy life. So stop living in the spirit where you do not have any control, but be real with yourself and come to the physical, understand the systems, and then you'll be able to control time and then what we call space. Because I know now here then live in the present and then know how you'll be able to what turn things around in the present and the future will be bright. Nti yɛn yi adwene firi honhom
Wow.
nsɛm no sɛ ɛyɛ honhom na dɛndɛn sika nyɛ ho wokɔyɛ adwuma na ɛtua aka na ɛyɛ honhom sɛ wokɔyɛ adwuma de nti na ɛtua aka nti saa nso na sɛ meyɛ adwuma no medɔ afuo ka ho a I will increase my income. Nti ɛnyɛ honhom asɛm biara sɛ make ne nyankopɔn nsa nhyira na ma nipa yɛ ɔdefoɔ nti da bɛn na wo nsa nhyira no bɛnya bi ana obiara ne ne mmerɛ edu wo so a wodeɛ bɛba yes mmerɛ no bɛba but the time is now so once you have now what are you doing to break that boundary? That is the question.
What are you doing to break that boundary? You have to work hard. Thank you very much. I think Cancom is on fire. Cancom is on fire, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, someone. I don't know whether I can even add someone because I'm struggling with it here. It's more like the equals were happy and make sure I say comment in the other thing and I mean who say about has say but it's not coming here. So I have a problem with my
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I have a problem and
or they
until I
can
can
put their
resolve it,
questions
I
in
say
the chat.
I mean who has say okay, so me who questions me who ever made laptop na so but on the phone it's more like the beer free just the life that's
Yeah,
going on. Sure,
yeah.
sure. So let's try to get some questions. Since I can really ask someone to just come and talk and give their suggestion. Maybe more work question there or the two chats no I mean who laptop no so I have so that I'll read it then we all try to answer. But before I see the corner, we are reviewing this book today. Yeah, review book, if you need the book, the whole book, it entails a lot. We are trying to take some point out and explain it for people to really understand. The book name is Streamline, How to Teach Yourself Money. It talks about financial education. Ska send me account has ska, ska, oh, ska. Uska me dem kai legend ka sen also uska uko hospital na ebusa wo say eh ebusa wo say ope 100 cedi ebi o ya etipai utinye pa awani ebusa say ope yehwe wani ndi ni ahwe obotumi ahwe akọwe de ohia 10 cedi de na bi because 100 cedi no ntimi nto obo nso okoye beton 100 cedi de na man. This means money is very important. We should never underestimate the value of money and acquiring knowledge to manage our finances. The book the show book we friend Kwabena Obenako, Mr. Kwabena Obenako. The number is 0246 63 1874. Between our book need the person newsmeton book need the person reach out. Reach out on 0550 39 36 5. Okay, so Pacho, mum put him a question. Oh, can come to the wow. Yeah, Samo. This is our first episode, right? And today we tackle the Streamline chapter 1 and chapter 2. But I just want to if you have any question, they discuss or no question, no margin trade also. With me, I'm trying to add people, but I don't know what's going on here. This is our first time. We are still learning we are still learning how to utilize this platform. Though, yeah. But if you have any question, with me, I'll put you the question in the chat. Got kicked out. Yes, I'm trying. The thing has freeze. I'm trying, but it's not working here. Let me see. Let me try. You hold on, I'm coming. Let me try with another account and see. Just give me a minute when I can access it from here. Okay. So we left with the question and answer section. Then we are done with the with this section. But wow. Okay, so I don't know what to say now. Okay, let me see whether I can post the live and do something. Okay, so since I'm not able to get anyone on the platform, I'll conclude that today this is the end of our section. And we really enjoyed. I hope you really enjoyed this section. Me myself, I have learned a lot, and I hope next week by this time, Sunday, we will continue with the reviewing of the book. My guest was Ibamando and Kankam. They have all read the book. That's why they were able to explain or share their experiences with the book, within the of the thoughts or whatever it is in the book. And see, who join and say we review books. Today we are reviewing Streamline, How to Teach Yourself Money. Focus on your book, maybe I'm the number to how to get the book. So next week, yeah, there'll be answer say or joining this platform. I hope so will soon be before 4. And next week so the next week 8 p.m. sharp, meet us here on TikTok and you have a great day. Sorry that you were not able to ask a lot of questions, but this is the first time. The next time you arrange stuff very well so that everyone can come on this platform to ask any question. Thank you very much and see you in the next episode. Bye.